parents begin to say that, look, if he can make my children get up at 9 o'clock on Saturday mornings, and meet at 9 o'clock on Saturday mornings, and he can make them cut their hair, I'm going to support him. And that's what happened. And the rest is history.
When you decided to run for city council and county council in Aiken, an African American had never been elected to either of those positions before. What gave you the confidence to believe that you could be the first one that could do it?
Well, believe it or not, my football players. I was at a predominant black school, Schofield High School, when consolidations took place in the late 60s, early 70s. And I was transferred over to Aiken High School. And as a football coach, football track coach. And I had some of the ball players, I told the ball players about some of the things that was happening in my community, and they said, well, why don't you run for city council? And I said, well, oh no, But I was encouraged by them. They committed to me if I would run. They would campaign, and they didn't know very much about campaigning, but they said that they would do door-to-door. And they did.
What were some of the challenges you faced when you first were elected to office?
Well, it was really a microcosm of what was happening in the communities. There was some bias. There was some race bias when I went to city council. Some members did not want me to make appointments. The practice then was each council member will make appointment to the planning commissioner and other commissions that the city had. And there was some resistance about me appointing, making appointments. But we overcame that, and some was appointed. And from that point on, we've had diversity on all of our commissioners from the city.
As a leader, one of your responsibilities is to bring different groups of people in the community together. But you yourself were very different racially and politically from some of the people that you were leading. So how did you bridge that gap and reach out and bring all of these different people together during your time as a representative?
Well, that's an interesting point. It was deep ingrained, the separation of groups, and there were so many good people out there that belonged to all of these groups, but they were practicing things that they grew up with and that they were accustomed to doing. And it's not an easy thing to change minds. But as association and participation in group building, things changed. We had the Chamber of Commerce who was very helpful. We had church groups, they were meeting, and most of all our athletic programs. We had basketball, football, track. The kids got to know each other, and they were much better. And so I personally, although I did not talk about it very much, did a lot of things through the kids. I found out early that if you can get the children to like you, the parents will fall in line.
So you witnessed the civil rights movement unfolding. What was it like to see something like that happen?
Oh, I tell you what, it was frightening, and it really was, and it was very emotional. But I personally knew that things were going to change, so it was just a matter of time. But it wasn't very pleasant, because things started coming to mind of how people were being treated, and it was very difficult. But I knew that change was going to come, and it did. And so You thank so many people from all sides, for contributions they made to make life better for all.
Do you think education is important for combating racism?
Of course it does. It's just no question about it. A lot of things that were taught during my day, it's not taught during your day because things have changed. So sure, it's hard to get different levels of education to compete and to assist each other unless they sit down and talk and discuss the better way of doing it.
So we are kind of at a point in our country where politically we are, it's a very divisive time. What advice do you have for people who are hoping to reach across the aisle and build connections with those who are different from them?
Well, just learn to appreciate differences. We are different. People are different because they are different. And so, those differences gives a lot of strength. And so my thing to them is just simply don't be prejudiced, don't prejudge. My way of life, my philosophy is very simple, and this is what I teach to my kids. And they're working, this is what I tell young people. They need to work hard, believing what they really want to do. If it's their dream, pursue it. Don't let anybody tell you anything different. Pursue it and treat people the way you wish to be treated, period.